Hello and good morning. Welcome to my live recording of Forking Made Easy. I am Coach Amy, and today I have a special guest here with me, Boney. If you're not familiar with Boney, Boney has been my sidekick for the No Rest for the Breast Challenge for the past 3 years. You know, helping Results Fitness earn some extra donations for the Gathering Place, which is super near and dear to my heart. I go balls to the wall with this challenge every year. So if you haven't met Boney, he's gonna be hanging out in the background. Like I said, I've used him over the years just to, drum up some more attention, get some more donations. So last week of the challenge, I encourage everyone, regardless of what team you are on, show up this week, okay? The Gathering Place is a phenomenal, resource for those suffering cancer, the family members suffering from cancer. It's a local organization. You see where the money is going. You hear firsthand of all the great things that they have to offer. So regardless of what team wins, we are all winners because we help donate to this fantastic cause. As an added bonus, if you're a Dominator and on Team Green, show up 6 days this week, okay? Let's try to get as many workouts in as we can. All right, in case you could not tell, Halloween is my all-time favorite. I love all things Halloween, fall, pumpkins, you name it. So today I wanted to bring you 2 quick and easy pumpkin recipes. One is savory and then the other one is sweet. So I'm gonna start with the pumpkin soup, and this one you can make in a crock pot, toss everything in, let it sit. You could either cook it on high for 4 to 6 hours, cook it on low for 8 hours, easy peasy. All right, so to get started, you need a tablespoon of olive oil, 2 carrots, a half of an onion, and I put 3 cloves of garlic on there, but let's be real, it was probably more like 20 with me. So you want to cook the onions and carrots down until they're soft, and then add in the garlic. And then the seasonings we're going to be using for this one are cumin, coriander, and some cinnamon as well. Now I have salt and pepper on there. Add that to taste as you like, depending on your preference. So I already have the onions and carrots cooked. I'm just going to throw that in the crock pot. I'll probably make a huge mess in the process. And hopefully Boney stays in that chair. We just spent the last 15 minutes trying to get him so it's situated. I think he's being held up with an acorn squash right now, so if he goes tumbling and flying, I'll save him. All right, and then you need 4 cups of vegetable broth. All right, and 1 can of light coconut milk. So canned coconut milk is different than, coconut milk that you're going to find refrigerated. So you want to make sure you get the canned coconut milk. And 1 can of pumpkin puree. Now this is important. When you get the pumpkin puree, make sure it's pure pumpkin. You don't want pumpkin pie filling, because pumpkin pie filling is going to have a lot of added, sugars and seasonings and whatnot. So this is just straight pumpkin. Now, if you have the time on your hands and you want to roast, cut up and roast a fresh pumpkin, you can do that as well. But this is a quick and easy shortcut for this recipe. All right, so you're just gonna mix that really well. It takes a little bit to get the coconut milk and the pumpkin mixed together. Now, I'm gonna let this sit probably all day because I have the whole day to cook this. So before I go to serve it, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of maple syrup to sweeten it up a little bit. And then I'm going to use an immersion blender to really puree this. Make sure we get those carrots and onions pureed. It'll give it a nice thicker texture as well. If you do not have an immersion blender, no problem. You can ladle this into a high-speed blender in batches and puree it that way as well. If you do like some of the chunks in there, just puree part of it, whatever your preference is. All right, so that's all set. All I have to do is plug in the crock pot now. And then when this is done, I like to top it with pumpkin seeds. So if you have pepitas, pumpkin seeds, throw that on top. Another thing I like to do, good morning, Anne-Marie, thank you, she said I'm cute. I feel like a dork, but that's okay. I like to take some Greek yogurt and mix some curry powder in with it and just dollop it on top, similar to what you would do with sour cream, get a little extra protein in. I'm always looking for little ways to get extra protein in, and that's usually a quick and easy one. All right, next up, pumpkin energy bites. This one I need my list for because there's a lot of ingredients. All right, now when it comes to things like energy bites and energy balls and whatnot, while they are made with good for you ingredients, just remember they're also very calorie dense. So just because they are made with better for you ingredients doesn't mean they're necessarily low in calories. So when it comes to things like these are meant as a snack. So when I make these, I'll eat maybe 1 or 2 as a snack. You start eating 3, 4, 5, eating them by the handful, it's basically a whole meal at that point. So just be mindful of your portions when it comes to this. And you could always switch these up. You know, I had some coconut on hand, I might add some coconut to it. You know, whatever you have, mix into the balls. And these are perfect. I use these as a pre-workout. You know, I'm one of those crazies up at the crack of dawn. I don't have time to eat first thing in the morning, but I need a little something in the tank. This is perfect. Or say you work out in the afternoon, it's been a few hours since your last meal. You know, just pop 1 or 2 of these. It's gonna give you that energy to get through it. All right, so this one is a little funky with texture, so you kind of have to weigh out how much oatmeal you need. So I'm going to double this recipe actually because these freeze well and energy bites go fast in my house. So I'm going to double it. So the original recipe is 1.5 to 2 cups of oatmeal. I suggest starting with 1.5 cups and seeing, you know, what the consistency is like. Because you want them to still be a little sticky, but you also want them to, you know, be thick enough that they're gonna hold up and stick together. So let's see, I have to do math. 1 times 5 times 2 is 3. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the 3 cups because I'm doubling. And then I'm going to, again, add canned pumpkin puree, not pumpkin pie filling. And when it comes to the nut butter, your choice. I'm always a big fan of the Costco brand, I think it's Kirkland almond butter. It's super creamy and it's perfect for these types of recipes. So again, because I'm doubling, I'm gonna add 1 cup of that. If you like peanut butter, sometimes natural peanut butter is a little tricky with things of these nature, with the balls and whatnot. So that's why I usually go for the almond butter, just because it really helps hold them together better. All right. And you can use honey or maple syrup as your sweetener. I prefer honey. Again, I think the honey makes it a little stickier and helps hold the balls together. Every time I keep saying this, it just reminds me of the SNL skit with the sweaty balls. So if I start cracking up every time I say it, that's why. All right, let's see, what else do we have? Oh, chia seeds. So the chia seeds are also gonna thicken this up as well. Chia seeds, when they are in a liquid or mixed in with water, they're going to expand. So those will make a difference as well in keeping it together. I have the honey. We're going to add some vanilla, about a teaspoon or 2. And then we're going to add cinnamon to this as well. I was actually out of cinnamon, so I was excited I got to grate some fresh cinnamon sticks. So I have fresh cinnamon to add to these. Ginger is also good. You know, if you have a pumpkin pie spice or apple pie spice, anything like that, it's pretty much, you know, like cinnamon, ginger, whatnot, nutmeg, any of those are perfect flavors for this. And one recipe makes about 20 balls, so just be, you know, mindful of that when you're portioning it out. I like to use, you know, a tablespoon, pull out a tablespoon at a time, roll it into a ball, and I'm good to go. All right, let me just double check, make sure I didn't forget any of the ingredients. All right, we have the oats, the nut butter, the pumpkin, chia seeds, honey, vanilla, cinnamon, and last but not least, the chocolate chips. All right, so chocolate chips. If you can find dark chocolate is, you know, does have many health benefits for you. So if you can find the dark chocolate, grab the dark chocolate. I could not, so I just had mini milk chocolate chips. And I prefer the mini because they mix well into, you know, energy bites and balls and whatnot because they are smaller. So, you know, and it looks like I'm putting a lot in here, but when I divide this into 40 balls, I mean, it might be like a teaspoon of chocolate chips in each one. So, you know, we're only human. We need our sweets. We need our treats. Oh, I see Bridget is on now too. Good morning, Bridget. Bridget's a Dominator too. So make sure you get those extra workouts in this week. Okay, so this is actually perfect texture-wise. And you'll see, it's like a thick cookie dough batter. So all I'm gonna do is roll this into individual balls, and then I have a cookie sheet lined with wax paper. Now, especially, you know, the warmth from your hands and everything is gonna make these a little, you know, not stick together as well. So after I roll them, I do like to pop them in the refrigerator for a few hours before freezing or storing them in a container. So again, just take like about a tablespoon, roll it. These are perfect on-the-go snacks. You know, better than something that you're going to find processed in the store. It's homemade, easy to make. So both of these recipes we made in about 10 minutes. So you really can't beat that. Once again, I'm going to reiterate, show up for your workouts this week, regardless of what team you're on. We're all winning by donating to the Gathering Place. And thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. See you later.